Hello, beautiful people. Like, share, and subscribe. I want to do a video on why South Africans hate Nigerians, and I want to do a backstory of what is trending right now in South Africa because I have lived in South Africa before. So there's a lady called Chidimma Adetshina. She's a Miss South Africa finalist. I think top 13, and since she she became known that she has Nigerian blood in her. South Africans have been hitting on her. In fact, I wonder the kind of psychological trauma that girl must be going through. If she reads the comments. In fact, there's no go to all this thing I'm telling you. Go to all the just type South African newspapers. Go to all these new online news media. They talk about this girl with flowers. Go and read the comment section from the black South Africans. Oh my God. If you're a Nigerian and you read it, you will hate Nigerian leaders more. You will see reason why Nigeria should fix her acts together, you understand? So that all these countries insulting us will stop it, because there's nothing in South Africa that cannot be done in Nigeria times two. Nigeria is actually a very wealthy country, but we have the most useless leaders in the world. So she became Miss Finalist, man. Go and read the hate comments. The only people that have been supporting her are the celebrities. And when you're a celebrity, you come for her. When you're a South African celebrity and you support her, they attack you. By the way, there are many whites that have won this competition before. You understand what I'm saying? The South Africans don't question it. Let me give you a backdrop of why I think, based on living there and understanding, especially the black South Africans. Not all of them, majority of them. Now, many South Africans, black South Africans, they grew up with no fathers. Especially the people hating on this girl is mainly the male. It's just few females. Many black South Africans grew up with no father. Most children that grew up without father, they are very restive and they have a lot of hatred in them. Me, I've experienced the hatred when I was living in South Africa. I experienced the hatred, how South Africans hate Nigerians. Some of them don't even know Nigerians. Some of them have never had any bad relationship with Nigerians. Some of them have never had an encounter. In fact, I know a South African that came from the rural area, and he was telling me that in his village, all foreigners, all black foreigners are Nigerians. That's what they assume there. You understand? So if there's any crime by maybe Congolese, Senegalese, or Ugandan, they will just assume it's a Nigerian. So that Nigerian name is already, as many South Africans also see Nigeria as a competitor, kind of. Do you understand what I'm saying? So another place, it comes from a place of envy too. So even their politicians milk for this thing. There's some of their politicians, the only thing they used to campaign, like for example now, there's one guy called Herman, and there's another one, their Minister of Sports now. The one they talk about is foreigner this, foreigner that. Now go to South African prisons. Their prisons are majorly South Africans. Do you understand? And I also fought for Nigerians too in this situation. I don't think I will for them. So most of this South African this thing comes from hatred. The apartheid thing destroyed their mentality towards black. In Nigeria, there are many immigrants. Let me tell you, there was one time in Nigeria, there's a guy from Niger Republic. He didn't have papers. He almost fought me in Nigeria, and he's telling me I can't do anything. You understand what I'm telling you? Me and him had an argument, and I told him, "Wow, you're from Nigeria. I will go report it to police station." He said, "Go." That he's going to give me money, because in Nigeria people protect foreigners. In fact, there was a case of my friend, a foreigner that had a shop in Lagos, and these immigration people came and was trying to harass the guy. The people in the street fought the immigration and said, "No, you must leave this guy. This guy didn't do anything wrong here. He's not committing crime. He's just selling his goods. Leave him. Let him continue selling his goods." You understand what I'm saying? But in South Africa, many of them grew up without parents, without father. Many of them. So the male are very restive. You see, South African males are quiet. Especially I'm talking of the black. The white people, most of them don't have time for these shenanigans. Most of the black South African men, they are quiet, but in their hearts is full of anger. That's why you see that South Africa has one of the highest rape incidents in the world. South African men, studies found out that they kill 3 of their women every day in terms of domestic violence. In fact, in South Africa, don't date a policeman's wife or girlfriend. If you try it and the man finds out, he will shoot you. He will shoot himself. It has been something that is a rare crime that I find that I see very funny. So even the Adetshina family came out on video and was celebrating with the girl. South Africans just assumed, even their politicians, that the family is selling drugs. if you're in South Africa and you're a Nigerian, once you just say you're Nigerian, whether it's the women or the men, they will just, at first question you ask you, are you selling drugs? It shows you how limited many of them they are thinking. Now, how can you assume that all Nigerians sell drugs? By the way, let me just explain this thing. In South Africa, there are crimes Nigerians commit. Some Nigerians, the majority of Nigerians that commit crime. When I was in South Africa, I was in the academics. There were many Nigerians in the academics that don't have time for those things that drugs and all those things. But many black South Africans many Nigerians sell drugs. And I will tell you, I'm not going to mention the tribes. Some tribes in Nigeria, there are 3 major tribes in Nigeria. One of the major tribes do internet fraud and one do drugs. Do you understand? They do internet fraud and do drugs. So most times the focus is on those that do drugs. Some Nigerians also do this using women for prostitution. So you know people I'm talking about. But there's another tribe too that specializes in internet fraud. I'm not going to mention the tribes, but because they are all Nigerians. So these South Africans just generally hate. They don't see those ones that do the fraud. You understand? But they see those ones that do the drug thing. And let me tell you, Nigerians can be very stupid. I'm telling you the truth. Let me even address this issue on Nigeria and the hatred that South Africans have for Nigeria. Some Nigerians are stupid. Do you know that Nigerians are not the only people that sell drugs in South Africa? Indians are the people that sell it in bulk, and whites. But the Nigerians, many of them are stupid. You will see them line up on the streets because they have bribed some of the police in South Africa, stay near the police station, shouting, making noise, jobless. They are selling drugs. They have turned it as if they are doing something that is real. Some Nigerians go to South Africa. Do you know some of the violence that happen in South Africa? Nigerians are killing. These Nigerians are killing each other. Some of them that sell this drug, they will go and be fighting the other Nigerians and be killing them. They are selling drugs. You understand what I'm saying? And these are the things why I'm telling you why South Africans say Nigeria. Some of their hate is justified, and I will tell you how it stemmed down to bad leadership. Now, some what do they call it? Not only Nigerians sell drugs, like I mentioned, Indians and whites sell it in bulk. But you see those ones that are quiet. But you see a Nigerian very stupid. Congolese, all those other people, Congolese and other groups sell. You understand? But those ones, they are quiet about it. But Nigerians, you don't buy smoker. Oh, they will start shouting like fools. Like fools. Shouting, making noise. You see them jobless. Once you see them standing on the street without doing anything, just shouting, just know that's what they are doing. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's why many of these people hate. As Nigerians will use South Africans, pimp them to be doing prostitution for them. Many South African women do prostitution voluntarily. Do you know that some South African women are going to Nigeria now to do prostitution? Do you know that? But I'm just telling you because sex is nothing in South Africa. Sex is it's like food. It's very easy. Do you understand? So many Nigerians are also pimping South African women. They will go and capture, even at the point Nigerians were even pimping white women. There are stories of Nigerian pimping white women using drugs as lure. Do you understand? So these are just some of the criminal behavior. I'm not saying that some Nigerians, like I said, I'm not saying that all Nigerians are doing that. So this is why they hate Nigerians. But you see that their hatred, instead of them to blame their governments for making because it's very easy to arrest those Nigerians. If I was South African police, very, very easy to arrest them. They know where they are. Do you understand? But they must do it systematically so that it doesn't go and arrest them. Instead of them to do the right thing, arrest those guys and stop all this madness. No, they won't do it. Let me tell you, even if all the Nigerians live today, they will still be blaming Nigerians. Even if all the Nigerians, even those bad guys, bad Nigerians. Do you know some Nigerians are kidnapping fellow Nigerians in South Africa for ransom? Nigerians, so they will leave Nigeria and be doing courtism in South Africa. Something you left Nigeria for. It shows you how mentally insane. That's what I'm saying. The poverty and the bad government in Nigeria have affected many of these people. Their brain is no longer working. You will leave Nigeria, come to South Africa and be doing kidnapping. So these are just some of the things that Nigerians do. But South Africans hating on this girl has nothing to do with it. It's just pure hatred. Many of them, they just grew up. Some of them, they are women. Nigeria broke their hearts. And many of the South African women don't care where you get money from. They don't care. As far as there's money. Just the way women generally all over the world. But South African one is very stark because you see South African women tell you they don't care where money is coming from. You understand? But if it happens to their own child, you see them raising alarm. You understand? South Africa was the first place I saw a zombie. I saw cocaine. I never seen cocaine in my life all over when I stayed in Nigeria. You understand what I say? And when I'm staying in Nigeria, I never see cocaine. When South Africa, people sell these things. You understand? Weed. I've never seen weed. I know I live green on Nigeria. I've never seen weed. Weed is legalized in South Africa if you have a certain quantity. So many of them just hate Nigerians. They will tell you, oh, it's because of some bad. No, they just hate this girl just naturally. Some of them feel like in sports. Have you gone to sports pages where South African and Nigerians are arguing? It's like they're doing competition. So they see Nigeria as people that will challenge them. They don't want that Nigerian blood. But they have exceptions where they like Nigerian blood. In sports, there are some Nigerian footballers, they don't mind those guys to play for South Africa. That's the only time I've seen South Africans not hate on Nigerians. There's a guy that I think he played for Orlando Pirates or Chiefs. Olisanda. Many black South Africans, males, don't mind if the guy play for them. So that hatred South Africa have is because of lack of jobs. South Africa has one of the highest unemployment rates in the world. That's why I say no foreigner, no black people should stop coming here. There's no jobs. You understand? When we're living there, jobs, you can't see jobs. The infrastructure is okay. Better than Nigeria 1 billion times, but no jobs. You understand? So I advise, what do they call it? I advise Nigerians to stop coming to South Africa or anything. You understand? And guys, drop down your bad behavior. All these things steps down to bad government in Nigeria. The bad leadership in Nigeria didn't provide for Nigerians or make life better for Nigeria. So many of these Nigerians engage in criminality. Do you understand what I'm saying? The Nigerian government didn't do anything for her people. Up to today, there's no orientation on the TVs, on the radios, telling Nigerians to stop their bad behavior, creating jobs. You understand what I'm saying? Using dialogue, carrot and stick approach. Nigeria, look at what Tinubu is doing. People are crying of poverty or buying private plane. So these are the things that make Nigerians, they will carry out their bad behavior, anger. Many of them sell land. So because of that greed, sell cars just to travel out. And many South Africans have the wrong assumptions that South Africa is the only place Nigerians go. They forget that many Nigerians have more than 1 million in UK. And Nigerians don't have negative stereotype in the UK or the US. It's just because South African leaders should wake up and it's because some of the people in the South African government are part of the drug thing too. Right now, South Africans are taking over the drug business in South Africa. So even if Nigerians leave, because many Nigerians actually live in South Africa, even if the Nigerians leave, South Africa will still be doing their drug business. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I just feel like the what do they call it? The South Africans should channel their energy positively. You know, the trauma people are causing this girl is just too much. You understand? So many of them are just born to hate. They hate whites, they hate Nigerians, they hate everybody. I was reading in the newspaper now, the Africans, the people that did the apartheid thing, they want to build a 3 billion rand university, and that university will only be for their language and their culture, and don't be surprised they will be segregating against other people that wants to come there. Do you understand? So these are just some of the Malema has tried to preach to these people that you don't need to hate on your government that is not doing things responsibly, and stop hating your black Africans. There are many foreigners in Nigeria, all documented. Who cares? Who cares? It's only once in my lifetime I heard that Nigeria deported foreigners. But sometimes I understand South Africa has a high percentage of other black foreigners from other places, you know. So I don't know. I just feel like it's just leadership failure that is happening. South Africa has one of the highest unemployment. So anybody that's unemployed, that they grew up in a broken home, you see, it's always full of anger. The same thing happening with this tribalistic Nigerian. Go and check any tribalistic Nigerian. There's something that's disturbing his mind that is making him to hate. Nobody was born with hate. It's either his environment, what people told him, maybe one or two bad experiences, he will just generalize. Everybody has biases, even me. You understand? There are groups, but not Africans, but there are groups. Me, I have bias against Indians because I find Indians not to be straightforward. But it doesn't mean that if an Indian is good to me, I will now start hating him because of generality of what I think. I've had, biases, So that's why they just say this guy. It's not because of anything. Broken home, this alcohol culture, and anger. Many of them have anger. And don't mess with a black South African. Gun is in their pocket. Gun is very cheap. You do anyhow, it will just shoot you. Boom, you die. You understand what I'm saying? So Nigerians, stop coming here. Other Africans, stop coming to South Africa. That's just my message to you. But many of their hatred just stems from hatred hatred born with that no father, you understand, and lack of jobs. Those are just the two major reasons, you understand. If you have job, like all these Ronald doing, if many of them had real jobs, they don't have, nobody that have a real job that is paying him well will be hating. You understand? Look at Dangote, and do you think Dangote will see Igbo person start hating him, or see? You don't have time for it's poor people that hate, poor and on the deprived people. Let me know your thoughts, so you might disagree or agree.